Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the new horror comedy, Getaway. And this is from writer Nick Frost, who also stars in the film, director Stefan Hars. And this film focuses on a family who goes to a remote Swedish island for a vacation, this getaway, and find a wild place full of folk horror nonsense that you would expect in The Wicker Man. And you would think that's it. But this movie has way more up its sleeve. This is a legitimately funny movie, and God, between Nick Frost and Aisling Bea, I just love the two of them. I love Aisling Bea so much, and she's so funny. Nick Frost obviously is hilarious, and the two of them as the parents of this family have such a fun dynamic that just brings a lot of dark humor to this story. I do think the two kids are fine. They do a fine job too. But we're here for the Nick Frost and Aisling Bea. And you have them getting to this island, and there's a whole bunch of what kind of feels like cliche, pretty familiar beats in terms of folk horror. Hey, we're going to a remote island. They're totally doing this performance that's just a performance and not a sacrifice. I can guarantee you that. And you have the creepy older woman, Anita Sukari's character, who's leading this whole entire thing. You have the guy who runs the Airbnb they're renting from, who's certainly there's some unexpected things about his character as well. But for about 2/3 of this movie, it's this awkward dad and pushy but confident mom and these two kids, just trying to do their best to make the most out of this random Swedish island getaway. But bodies start piling up and you're like, what's going on here? And then you start to realize in the third act of this movie what's really going on here, and this goes wild. I do not want to hint at anything that winds up happening in the third act of this movie, but all I'm going to say is some Iron Maiden and some bloodbaths go a long way to make a really entertaining horror comedy, for sure. And this gets wild, over the top, gory, ridiculous, and we, the audience, are having just as much fun as some of these performers in this movie because they just make it infectiously fun in that way. Do I feel like a lot of the story has some satisfying payoffs? Probably not. Is it twisted and have some surprising elements to it? It sure does. Is it fun, creepy, and unnerving, especially as you get into the third act of this movie? That's a big 10 for. This is such an unexpected, wild horror comedy that subverts your expectations of what's really going on in this film. And I feel like once it really hits its gear where it's going, because the first 2/3 are fun enough, I do feel like it's a lot less interesting and overly serious when you cut to the native Swedish people on this island. But once you get to this climax of this crazy, wild slasher fest that we get to in this film, this becomes endlessly entertaining, and you're kind of like, I want more of this. And the ending's not 100% against that, and let's just put it that way. But 2/3 of it is a bit jarring, shifting between the first 2/3 and the last third, but at least the first 2/3 are entertaining enough and fun that once you get to the last third, that's a lot of fun. It all comes together and you have a good time. But those are my thoughts on Getaway. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.